Hello everybody, it's Christy from Christy's Beautiful Life and welcome back to Love Your Scrappy. We are on to the second part of this series. So back at the beginning of the month, I did a layout where I scrap lifted myself from a layout from 2014, 2013-ish and just kind of refreshed it and made it a little bit more in today's style. So the second part of the series that I really wanted to focus in on is scrap lifting from other people and different elements of that idea of scrap lifting from other people. So for today, I'm going to do one where it's an exact scrap lift. So there is this gorgeous layout that I have been looking at, and it's really what inspired me to buy the Sunny Days collection from Maggie Holmes. Now, I'm a big Maggie Holmes fan anyways, but this particular layout really got me inspired and wanting to create. So hopefully the layout has popped up. It is by Sherry Ferguson Designs, and she created it for Hip Kit Club. And I loved it. I loved the vertical line with the circles and all the little pieces here and there. And what really got me was that I had a ton of the embellishments still in my collection that I hadn't used on other projects. So I have stopped using this collection, waiting to get this layout done because I really wanted to use certain pieces from her layout and my layout. Now, of course, when it comes to scrap lifting, it's gonna look a tiny bit different because my style is gonna be implemented in it. Even if I try to do an exact scrap lift, my style would show up. That's just the way I scrap. So you will see that. But I wanted to share with you how to kind of almost break the stigma of doing an exact scrap lift, because I think sometimes people, sorry about the moving of the camera, Barrett's playing with my desk here. I feel like sometimes people think that if they do something like that, it's like there's just a bad stigma about like don't do an exact scrap lift. But you guys, there's nothing wrong with it because it's gonna be your photo, not their photo. And honestly, unless you are sharing it out in the world trying to get paid for your project, you're not doing anything wrong. And honestly, there's no bigger compliment than seeing someone use inspiration from your layout to create their own layout. It's the highest form of a compliment that any scrapbooker can get. So I'm going to take that on today and share with you my take on this gorgeous layout. And I'm telling you, it is going to be almost an exact scrap lift because I love it so much. So let's dig in and see what can happen with this. Okay, so what's going to happen is I'm going to start with working this gorgeous pattern paper. I love this one with the fun little, I guess they're just little circles, but I think they were meant to be like umbrella tops. But I love that, and I drew that. I knew I had that pattern paper, so that's the first thing I'm going to go ahead and do and work with that. I'm also going to use a blue. It's not the same blue that she uses on her strip, but I am going to use a blue. And I'm also going to play around with the idea of the circles. Now, I want to add a little bit of my own personality and flair to it. So you're going to see that on that strip, I do add a third layer to that vertical strip. So you'll see that in a minute. And now I'm going to work with the circles. So I thought I had this 2-inch circle and that would work perfectly. It's a little too big. So I'm going to go ahead and fussy cut out one of these umbrella tops. I'm just going to say that's what it is. And I'm going to use that as the base to fussy cut out all the rest of these circles. And I just took a little bit of time and chose the patterns I wanted to use. I am not using the same patterns in the same spots that she is. That is another thing that I'm doing just a little bit differently. I'm also not going to leave a space for my title like Sherry has done. I don't have that Fun and Sun title available to use. I used that in my very first layout using this collection way back last year. So instead, I'm going to come up with a different idea. Got the base of what I want to do. Now I have to decide on my photos, and I wasn't exactly sure. I laid down those 2 photos, and then I laid down this photo of my daughter blowing bubbles. I like that idea. I liked the pink. However, she's looking off the page, and I didn't like that. So I am going to go with these 2 photos taken this year for my birthday. We ended up going to the beach. So we didn't get to go for Canada Day because A, it was raining, and B, we were trying to stay safe and not be where we thought a lot of people might be. And so my birthday was in the middle of the week. I think it was on a Wednesday or a Thursday. I'm not exactly sure which. I can't even remember. And so we got to go, and it was there were people out, but it was not busy. So we were able to safely social distance, and we had a fabulous time. It was so awesome to actually get to go to the beach, because I really didn't think we were going to go this year. I thought it was a missed opportunity, just to keep our family safe, which I was fine doing. Totally. I'd rather obviously keep my family safe than go to the beach, but we got to go. And so this collection obviously works perfectly for that. Sean is wearing a blue shirt, so the navy tied in really well. I'm wearing a bit of a lighter blue. I'm wearing a Blue Jays shirt, so it's a tad bit later, but it works. It all works. And my kids are wearing some bright colors, but it's okay. I end up, my son has a Pokemon shirt on, but I'm going to end up covering that up with layering my photo on top of it so that yellow disappears, because it's quite a bright yellow. It's not that mustardy yellow you can see in the circles. So, okay, got that part. I've glued down all my circles, and now I'm going to figure out where to go ahead and do the rest of this. I know my photos, I want to put my photos there. I like how Sherry put her photo there. I want to do that. I even want to do the corner piece that she did. However, I'm using the corner piece underneath my photo as a pop of color, versus she put hers on her photo. I probably could have done that. I think Sean's head was over enough. I probably could have, but I chose not to. And now I'm going to place some embellishments. For sure, that have fun is going exactly where it was on hers. I love that. That's what drew me into it. The same thing with the beautiful bathing suit in that corner. I have that. That's going right there, and a camera up on the other side of the corner. Those are the three pieces along with the umbrella right below the photos, and kind of the placement of the title. That is all being exactly scrap lift and mimicked, because I loved that so much. The rest of it is interpretation of what was appealing to my eye and how I wanted everything to go. I did like how in her layout, a few of her circles were sketched out, and I'm going to do that with stitching instead. And so I picked a few of the circles to do some different type of stitching in, and I love how this turned out. On one of the circles, I actually do this really fun swirl that kind of looks like a seashell. You can see that right underneath the photo. I love that. And so I just picked a few of them to do a little bit of black stitching, so it was there. And now I'm going to layer all the rest of the pieces right back on top. So obviously, because this is being a scrap lift, it's very easy to create this layout, because I just have to look at the layout Sherry created and place the embellishments basically where I can see them, and just go from there. The little bit of a difference that you can see is I did add a square piece down at the bottom. That is where my journaling is going to go. I liked the idea of having a designated spot to put that, because in her layout there is not a place to be able to do that. And then I realized that as I was trying to add a few more embellishments, because Sherry has some gorgeous little seashells and stuff scattered around. I've used up most of the seashells, so I'd have to fussy cut them out, and I wasn't really feeling that. But I was also struggling trying to get them placed. I didn't really like where I was placing them. I didn't like how it looked. So I'm deciding to scrap a lot of the little tiny details that she's put in and just let it be. Just enjoy the circles as they are. So that was a personal preference for me, and I'm happy I did that. I really love the way that this turned out, and you can definitely tell that it's been scrap lift and an exact scrap lift, and I just love it. So Sherry, thank you so much for the inspiration. I hope that this gives you guys maybe the permission. You don't need it, but some people just, to see someone else do something like this, it makes it a little bit more comfortable for them to do it. It's okay to do this, to do an exact scrap lift. No one's gonna mind. Give them credit. They'll love it. You will make someone's day if you do an exact scrap lift. So please keep that in mind as you're scrap lifting. Anything goes. Give the credit and anything goes. And I hope you enjoyed the second part of this series. I am excited to continue with this and see where it's going to evolve. So I'll see everybody next month with another scrap lift of myself, and we'll see where the scrap lift of someone else will take us next month. Let me know what you think, and if this is something that's in your comfort zone, if you enjoy scrap lifting like this, or if you prefer to just take the inspiration and turn it into something all on your own. I'd love to know what your personal preference is. All right, everyone, here is a look at my finished layout, and I'll see you all really soon. Bye.